My name is Natalie Goss. My team number is 14 and my agency is Hilton Point Apartments. Today I'll be discussing our overall experience at Hilton Point Apartments. Since we were the first team that has been to Hilton, we pretty much had free reign on what to do for our project. So after discussing with our coordinator, Marlon, we went forward with having our idea of just having dialogues with the residents to see why people weren't participating in the events they were hosting, and if they weren't participating, what they would like to see happen. So after interviewing several residents multiple times, we decided we would just compile a list of recommended things that the residents and the next IPE group would be able to implement. So our first idea that we've already scheduled is having the SLU Law School come in to talk about Medicare and Medicaid. Most of the residents at Hilton Point are on Medicare and Medicaid, and they don't really know how it works. So I think this would be a really good first step to getting the residents educated and getting involved in community events. The second thing we were discussing was to create a list of recommendations for future groups, as well as tips for engaging with community members. All the community members are of different social, economic, and cultural groups, so it's kind of important to just know how to act unbiased or discussing specific topics with them. And then the list of recommendations I think will be really good for Marlon to have and for the future groups, whether he wants to implement them himself or give them to future groups as ideas. So after talking to Marlon about what events we could implement, we found that some of the residents started having a potluck dinner, and this was just because we started talking to them about community involvement. It got me really excited about our implementation and that the residents had already taken our considerations and implemented them. And we've already begun to improve their health and wellness of the community by engaging them in activities. So through the dialogues we hosted, I think I really got to know the residents and see what they were interested in. And by using their own ideas for next year's group, I think that is going to have the most impact on the residents, because it's events that they actually thought of themselves. But the biggest thing I learned through this project was that it doesn't take much to impact someone's life. We learned quickly that the residents started already hosting a potluck dinner and becoming more involved just after one meeting that we had with them. I'm definitely going to take this into my future practice, especially when I'm feeling like I haven't done much for a patient in terms of helping them or making a difference. And just remembering that for each patient, even the littlest things I do are helping them. I've really enjoyed this project, and I hope it's not my last encounter with Marlon or the residents at Hilton Point.